guys, so I'm freshly from the beach, no makeup, a little bit pink, but I just started writing an Instagram caption about this topic and it got me so fired up. I was like, I'm just gonna make a video about this because there's so much to say. The topic is, when should you stop hormonal birth control if you want to try to conceive? So I saw a patient, actually I've seen a bunch of patients that will talk to their GP about this topic, and they'll say, I'm thinking about coming off the pill or the Mirena or an IUD of some kind, or the injection like the Implanon, because they're ready to fall pregnant, or they're thinking about falling pregnant, and they want to know, it looks like I'm not wearing a top, I swear. They want to know, when should they stop the contraception to try to get pregnant? So often the response is, just say the pill for example, stop the pill exactly when you're ready to try to conceive and then start trying the next month straight away. This is seriously terrible advice. It's terrible advice, and GPs tell women this all the time. The reason that it's terrible advice is because we don't know what your body's going to do when you stop the pill. We have no way of knowing. Your period could come back in a year's time. It could come back in 3 months. It could come back in 6 months. It could come back in over a year's time. That's not ideal if you're super ready to try to conceive that month. So say if you come off the pill and you're like, great, I'm going to start trying to conceive this month. What if you don't ovulate straight away? Or what if you don't get a period straight away? Then your conception plan has been completely changed. Your plan is now to try and establish your cycle, not trying for a baby, which is what you want it to be. This topic gets me really fired up because seriously, this type of advice sets women up for potential failure. And this is what I'm seeing in the clinic all the time. So women will come off whatever kind of contraception. They're sad and disheartened that their cycle is irregular because they're ready to start trying to conceive now, but their body is still processing the whole thing of stopping whatever contraception they've been taking, which takes time. We want to approach it from a different perspective, ideally, of, okay, you're thinking about you want to start conceiving soon, even if it's in a year's time, let's stop any type of contraception now to try and get your cycle back into balance well before you even want to actively start trying to conceive. Because if there's something going on with your ovulation, if ovulation doesn't come back straight away, let's address it then before you even want to try to conceive. So that's like my ideal situation for women. If they're thinking that they want to have kids in the next 1 to 2 years, it's like, okay, let's think about stopping contraception now or soonish, so that your body can take time to come off the hormones. It takes 3 to 6 months for hormonal contraception to completely leave your body. So let's give your body that chance to actually detoxify, get back into some kind of balance after stopping contraception. Let's get ovulation really nice and regular. Let's get your period really nice and healthy, and let's get everything humming along nicely. And then when that's all good, then start trying to conceive. That just makes sense to me, and that's just the most logical course of action. We want to be proactive about our health, not reactive. We don't want to come off the pill and have all of these issues, potential issues. There is often no issues, which is amazing. If there's any issues, we don't want to be like, oh, well, I wish I knew about this sooner, which happens all the time. I wish I knew about this sooner, then I wouldn't have done it this way. We don't want to be reactive and then be like, oh, okay, well, now I have to quickly try and sort out my cycle now, but I'm ready to conceive, and it's just, stressful. We want to be proactive and be like, okay, I think I'm ready for a baby in about a year's time, or, however long, 6 months. Maybe stop now, get my body super healthy, and then so when me and my partner are ready, then we're good to go straight away. And there's not really going to be a shock of, oh, I'm not ovulating, or oh, my period, I have PCOS, or I've got endo, and the hormonal contraception was masking it for a few years and I had no idea. So we want to be proactive, not reactive, ideally. Aside from all of trying to get the cycle regular and the potential of the cycle not being regular after you stop hormonal contraception, there's also the whole piece of when you're on the pill specifically, it actually affects your absorption of nutrients when you're on the pill. Most commonly B vitamins, magnesium, these types of vitamins and minerals, which are really important for fetal development and fertility. So these are actually depleted when you come off hormonal contraception, which is, again, not ideal. We want these stores to be overflowing and really nice and topped up when you're ready to conceive. And women that have these nutrients in a depleted state have a higher incidence of infertility and miscarriage. This is not, if we can avoid this, let's try and avoid this. After the pill, specifically, you want to give your body a chance to, first of all, try and establish a regular cycle, a healthy cycle, and then also completely drench your body in all of these vital minerals and nutrients and all of these important factors that create a really healthy reproductive environment and really healthy ovarian function to help establish and support a growing baby. So this is actually what we need, and we don't want to be coming from a depleted state, because pregnancy obviously depletes our nutrient stores, and we don't want to be starting this whole process in an already depleted state. Let's start it from a really topped up state, and that's generally not going to happen if you've just come off contraception, because those stores will be depleted. Also, we know that it takes 3 months for an egg to mature, so from an oocyte, which is an immature egg, all the way up until ovulation. That takes approximately 90 to 100 days. But there is research showing that the whole year before ovulation is affecting the quality of our eggs. So anything that happened a year before ovulation, any potential stresses or all of these different factors that can impact egg quality, that is happening a year in advance from ovulation, not just the 3 months that we hear so much about. So this is a huge, huge topic, and I could actually talk for hours on this topic, and there's so much to it, and there's so much more information that we can get into on this topic. But the crux of it is, let's try and prepare your body in advance. Preconception care, so important. Let's try and prepare your body well in advance before you're ready to try to conceive, so that when you're ready to try, you're not running into any unexpected problems. And there are a lot of women that when they stop hormonal contraception, their period comes back straight away and they're straight back into balance straight away. And that's amazing, that's great, that is ideally what we want to happen. They might not run into any really significant issues coming off the pill when they're trying to fall pregnant. There is also a lot of women that do run into issues when they stop hormonal contraception, which makes sense if your entire reproductive system and endocrine system in relation to your reproductive hormones have been shut down for 1 to 10 or 15 years. It's pretty normal and kind of expected that it's not going to get straight back into its ideal rhythm straight away. That's asking a lot of the body. So it's kind of expected and normal that it would take a bit of time for that whole hormonal cascade to get well established again, but it can get there with time and support. But we ideally don't want to be running into any unexpected and potentially avoidable issues right when we're trying to fall pregnant. When we're ready to go, we want to be like, great, I know my cycle's really good. I know I'm ovulating regularly. I know my period's nice and healthy. I know my partner's health is really great too, because that is equally important. I want all of those things to be down pat well before you're ready to conceive. That just makes sense to me. That's just the most logical kind of path to take. Why go into it in a complete mystery, being like, all right, I'll stop the pill and I guess we'll start trying next month, like fingers crossed I ovulate straight away. Like, don't go into it in this field of uncertainty and lack of education about your body. Go into it empowered and knowing that, yeah, my body's going to be really good, my cycle's really healthy and regular, and let's start trying now, and I know that everything's really good. You know that you've already dealt with whatever symptoms you potentially may get coming off the contraception. You've already been through all of that a year ago. That makes sense to me. So that's my 2 cents. If you want to know more about this topic, or if you have questions, you can send me a message. There's heaps more to this topic, a lot more. Maybe I'll even make a series on this, how to prepare your body for pregnancy. That is just my 2 cents on this matter. At the end of the day, you know your body best. And if you ever get any advice at all, no matter who it's from, and it doesn't really sit right with you, and you're like, I don't think that actually works for me, then question it or get a second opinion, because not everyone's opinion is going to resonate with you. So do your own research and do what actually feels right for you and your body and your family. If you have any questions at all, send me a message. You can contact me anytime. You can reach me on my website or my Instagram, and I'll talk to you guys soon.